Joseph had a dream. And that dream made people hate him. His blessing did not lead him to comfort. It led him into suffering. This is not just a story of dreams. It is a story of destiny. This is the story of Joseph. Jacob loved Rachel. For her, he labored 14 long years. But, on the morning after his wedding, Jacob awoke to a truth he did not expect. It was Leah. Deceived by Laban, Jacob found himself bound to two sisters, one cherished by his heart, and one married without love. Rachel was beautiful, desired, and deeply loved. Yet, her womb was closed. Leah, unloved and overlooked, lived in quiet sorrow. But, God saw what man ignored. And Leah conceived. She bore a son, and named him Reuben, hoping her husband would finally see her. Then, Simeon was born. Then, Levi. And then, Judah. With every child, Leah searched for love. With every passing year, Rachel's pain grew heavier. Jealousy entered the home. Competition took root. And sorrow sat at the family table. Yet, within this broken marriage, within unanswered prayers and silent tears, God was weaving a destiny no one could yet see. Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, and her sorrow turned into desperation. Day after day, she watched Leah hold sons in her arms, while her own arms remained empty. In her anguish, Rachel cried out to Jacob,
"Give me children, or I will die."
But the power of life was not Jacob's to give. So, Rachel turned to another way. She gave her servant, Bilhah, to Jacob, that she might bear children in her place. And Bilhah conceived. She bore a son. Rachel named him Dan, saying, "God has judged my case." Bilhah conceived again, and bore another son. Rachel called him Naphtali, for she had wrestled, and believed she had prevailed. But still, Rachel herself remained barren. The house of Jacob grew. Yet, the longing in Rachel's heart only deepened. And though human plans multiplied, God was still waiting for his perfect moment. And then, God remembered Rachel, the one who sees the hidden sorrow, heard the cry of her heart. At last, the barren womb was opened. Rachel conceived a son, and her joy overflowed. She named him Joseph.
"May the Lord add another son to me,"
she whispered with hope and tears. Joseph was not just a child. He was a promise fulfilled. A dream given by God. In a house filled with rivalry, jealousy, and longing, God's plan was beginning to unfold. Joseph grew, loved by his father Jacob more than any of his brothers. He was tender, bright, and full of promise. Now, Jacob loved Joseph, because he was the child of his old age. And Jacob gave him a coat of many colors, a garment that marked him, that made his brothers' hearts burn with jealousy. Joseph's brothers looked on with envy, whispering, plotting, and hating. Yet Joseph remained innocent, unaware of the storm brewing around him. And God gave Joseph dreams, strange visions of the future. He told them to his family. One night, Joseph dreamt. The sheaves of grain of his brothers bowed down to his sheaf. Another night, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed before him. His brothers seethed. Jacob listened carefully, quietly pondering what God might be showing through these dreams. Little did anyone know, these dreams were the threads of a destiny even betrayal could not undo. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers in the fields. The boy walked through the hills, his coat of many colors catching the sun. But his brothers saw him from afar, and their hearts burned with jealousy. The dreams he had shared, the love their father showed him, all made them hate him more. They plotted against him, stripping him of his coat and throwing him into a deep pit. Joseph cried out, but no one came to his aid. Then the Ishmaelite traders appeared, camels swaying in the desert sun. The brothers sold Joseph for 20 pieces of silver. And so Joseph was carried away to Egypt, leaving behind the home, the family, and the life he knew. His brothers returned to Jacob, heartbroken, holding Joseph's coat stained with blood. And Jacob wept, believing his beloved son was gone forever. Yet, God's plan was far from over. Even the pit could not stop the dreams God had placed in Joseph's heart.